Welcome to Alpha Wolf Impact Club channel. I'm Tim Weintraut, and this is where we shine a light on small companies with big ideas. Our mission here is crystal clear. We want to identify, support, and champion game changers. Those companies that are tackling massive challenges, revolutionizing industries, saving lives, or making us more efficient. CEO Oren Elkayam of Mobilicom. Mobilicom is a provider of robust, cyber secure, end to end solutions for drones and robotics. Proprietary cybersecurity software and hardware solutions that power, connect, secure, and safeguard drones and robotics. They have a unique market position and are operating at the intersection of cybersecurity, AI autonomy, and drones and robotics. This is without question an impact company, and we are in the early stages for, I believe, Mobilicom. But I'm going to let Oren tell you more about that in just a moment. This is not to be taken as investment advice. I am not a certified financial planner. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. I encourage everyone to do their own due diligence. Hey, everybody. Tim from Alpha Wolf Capital coming at you with a follow up to one of my favorite stories. Stock has been absolutely on fire, and he's actually at a very big show for the industry. We've got Oren from Mobilicom here. Oren, how are you doing today, man?
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. As you mentioned, we are giving it live from the AUSA, which is the Army exhibition and show and conference in the Washington, D.C., the biggest event of the industry, of the defense industry in the United States and maybe worldwide. So there are five halls packed with huge companies and all the tiers. And you can see some of it behind me over here. We have all the giants of this industry, aerospace, defense, drones, robotics here. And we also Mobilicom present here and exhibit here. So yeah, it's exciting times.
So you before we started recording, you told me you had dinner last night with some of our friends, right?
Yeah, we cannot name them. I don't want to be, but yeah, it's a great place to have a good gathering of the CEOs of the most exciting Nasdaq, but also private companies that are doing the most advanced things on drones, robotics, and loitering, kamikaze and drones, or and so on. All the names that you've seen on the Nasdaq, we've been in the dinner. It was a great opportunity to meet and interact with them and brainstorm and have great wine and food, obviously. So,
You know,
that was good.
or are you? I mean, I'm sure you saw what happens with Ondas and Lightpath and Copen and UMAC, right? I mean, there's a lot of cohesion. It seems to me, which I am very encouraged about because I think we need to have this kind of working together mentality, right? Would you agree with that?
Definitely, and I'm glad that you mentioned those names. But yeah, I enjoyed wine and dinner with many of those that you mentioned. So I mean, it's important. I especially for in the past we said small companies, but right now everybody scaled themselves, and some of them are already billions in dollars valuations and moving very fast. So harnessing the power of all of those companies together is super important for the U.S. And I think ecosystem and for the U.S. Defense. I think that working together we can accelerate the industry, and we are doing that. And I'm happy to be part of this journey, making America safe and leading the drones robotics revolution and bringing that into the commercial as well as to the defense market. So
So
I'm super optimistic that this is the only way that we can overcome the challenges and their adversaries in China and as well that are ramping up numbers like crazy.
yeah, I mean, and I want to. I guess I want to focus or highlight on you're different from the other guys, the other companies that I just mentioned, right? Because you are actually focused on something that really nobody's been focused on, which is the cybersecurity for the small drones and robotics, right?
Definitely. So, Mobilicom, for those that I'm not familiar with the story yet, so we are a one-stop shop, end-to-end provider of the cybersecurity, the software, and the hardware pieces, which are the heart and soul of any drone and robot. We are not doing drones or robots ourselves, but we provide the critical building blocks to all drones robotics manufacturers, and in particular to the small size robots, drones, and loitering munition. But our claim to fame and one of our great differentiation is cybersecurity. We understood that years ago, working with the nations that were on the forefront of the battlefield, in front of the Russians or Iranians or other adversaries. We witnessed the incidents happening. We developed the technology hand to hand with those governments. We work with them as they served as our testing site, and we cross the border on a daily basis with our solution for years. And that enable us to first understand the challenges of tomorrow and bring it earlier than anyone else. We started this implementation with our electronic warfare and protection for the data links and cybersecurity of the communication. And then we understood that the next layer is the drones themselves. Those are becoming very sophisticated, AI, edge computing powered or driven elements, which are either Qualcomm or NVIDIA based solution, super powerful on their capabilities and autonomy and decision making. And right now, there is zero protection on those critical assets as they're flying in the sky. And that means that it's the best vulnerability to be utilized by adversaries to take control, exploit that, get inside, collect the information, but God forbid, and take control of those elements. And even if needed, crush them or bring them against us against. So we've seen that happen in other industry, and we took the cybersecurity for the edge, for the platform, and for the cloud as one of the most important development of Mobilicom. We worked on the standardization in the United States. We developed the solution in parallel. We are bringing the best of breed. We managed to squeeze, I think, 12 different cybersecurity tools that everybody is using on their mainframe and office and IT rooms, but squeeze it to small size and footprint that can go on top of a very tiny drones, robotics, and so on. That's a breakthrough, and make it available to these industries. So we
Right.
invested years into that. So we strongly believe in that, and we believe that this is the future. And without it, God forbid, then we will be in a big mess in this industry.
Right, right. I mean, and I think that's starting to come to light, right? I mean, there was a mention of and whether all the facts are true, cybersecurity issues starting to come up within that whole space, right?
Yeah, you're probably mentioning the Palantir and Unreal, the story that the Army has found different cybersecurity vulnerabilities in their implementation. Obviously, everybody saw that in the industry. It doesn't matter what happened and if they fix it and if it was a prototype level, but we start to understand that some of those cyber incidents are becoming public, or their vulnerabilities and threats and are becoming public. We will see more of those industry, and bear in mind that what you see is maybe 5 to 10% of what actually is happening, because no one wants their name related to cybersecurity breaches and vulnerabilities. So, but the fact that the biggest of the biggest are named with cybersecurity issues gives a red light, a red flag for others, that they have to shape themselves and be prepared and move fast in order to close all those issues. So definitely, we will going to see much more than that. Obviously, off the record, I can give you examples of things that we've seen on the war that happen, which are mind blowing. But I can share with you that cybersecurity is widely used on those aspects to take down those drones and robots as we speak.
Yep.
So without it, we are doomed. I will not say anything less than that. We are doomed. We have to have cybersecurity. It's not that I'm inventing the wheel over here. It was clear when the automotive and vehicle industry did it, and it became standard and the requirement, which is mandatory for every vehicle to have active cybersecurity protection on their solution. And they are having the same things. Regulations are already written in the commercial market, in the defense market, in Europe, in the United States. Some of the countries already declare dates. For example, some of the cyber acts in European market, you will only be able to fly from January 2027, if I recall right. So we see aggressive timelines pushing everybody towards that. And everybody has to be prepared. And we came to help the industry with that. First, with elevating and the awareness of that. And we created a series of things like this amazing cybersecurity, cybersecured autonomy, which is explaining the idea. And we'll discuss more about our release of that. But this is industry book that is helping them to understand what has to be done, but also solutions that immediately can be deployed on those drones or robots and make them safe for usage
Right.
and carry on the mission.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this is what makes Mobilicom such an exciting opportunity within the space, right? Because I can't think of anybody else that does what you guys are doing. I mean, and you've been at this for well over 2-3 years, right?
We took the brightest minds in this field. We were lucky enough to get access by government to the harsher solutions that they see and get inside information of the problem ahead of everybody else. We understood the urgency. We invested in that. We have great minds, people that were leading, cybersecurity development for the DoDs, and we brought them, and they are part of the team that is working on that. And we also helped to create the industry. I mean, and shape the standards. So yes, we are there for the last 3 years. What the investors are seeing in the recent year and the publication that we keep doing is just fruits of things that we're working on for the last 3 years, creating the IP, the knowledge, the know-how, and the breakthrough technology-wise that will enable this industry to scale and to protect those assets and make the missions available and, complete the dream of the autonomy of drones or robots, but on a safe way.
Yep. And just so everybody knows, Oren, you're in very good shape. You don't have any debt, right? You're you don't need to raise capital. You just had an announcement yesterday. Can you share with us what the announcement was yesterday?
So yes, we revealed to the market another step of our vision going forward. We started this vision with our OS-free cybersecurity for the platforms, but we revealed to the industry the next level that we already implemented, and it's an ongoing process that is going to be expanded again and again, which is the secured autonomy. We elevated the company's offering from just the provider of cybersecurity to bring the ecosystem solution, a framework that will enable the entire industry to enjoy that. What we actually are saying is that in order for the industry and drones or robots to be safe, they need to have autonomy computers that are either AI edge computing of NVIDIA or Qualcomm. And we have made that available through partnership and joint ventures with the leading companies and leading providers of Qualcomm and NVIDIA partners. And we already have announced several, and others are on the way. And that's one piece of the puzzle. On top of that, we will have the OS3 Mobilicom's operating system for security and safety and compliance that will manage that. And on this other side, we'll bring for that equation the different AI applications that enable different autonomy roles. And that's the beauty, because eventually, if you merge all of those assets together, and we are bringing something which is fully integrated to the industry, ready to use from day one in almost zero cost or effort from the other parties, we can elevate any drone, any robot to be super autonomous, safe and secure, and perform the dreams of what everybody is expecting. And we are doing it in a fraction of a price and fraction of the effort of the giants, the billions of dollars being invested by the big ones. But we are merging the efforts of our ecosystem and leveraging the work that we've done already and continuous work that we are going to do over the next 9 months to bring that assets to the entire industry to utilize that and jump to secured autonomy operation with all the best AI capabilities of the autonomous things on the most sophisticated platforms and make it available on small drones robotics. I think it's a big revolution, and we are stepping up and took a larger role. And we already advertise, publish some of the players that working with us. But I think that every quarter you will see additional amazing companies that are already in the process that will make publicly available. And that's part of the bigger vision that Mobilicom is bringing. I think that team, one of my biggest problems is delivering and explaining the message to the audience, and in this case, the investors, of what is the revolution that we are making here and actually leading that. And there is very seldom that you see, not a big company like ours, that bringing huge know-how and IP to the industry and going to impact that dramatically and harnessing the power of others. And that's why I love the idea that so many other CEOs and other companies are joining that and becoming part of this framework and in bringing the secure autonomy solution that Mobilicom introduced into live operating thing that everybody can use in the industry.
Yes. And let's just make it really, really clear to everybody. If we were to call this a baseball game, we're like literally we just started the game, right? We're in the first inning.
We are the first, but critical building blocks have already been made. Okay, we are doing. You will see more and more and more of that secured autonomy again and again coming up and popping up because that's a bigger portion, a bigger element in the value chain that we are bringing, and it's an amazing revolution that we are leading, and we have already worked with the greatest companies over here, and I think that the audience will hear more about it on a quarterly basis. And I'm very excited. I'm really super excited. And this is in addition to the great success that we are doing with our, data link and communication pieces on the drone that enable them to communicate or build swarms and fleets, or our ground control solution, or electronic warfare software. So we didn't abandon that. It just in addition to that. And by the way, on that, we got some great discussions with the, greatest or biggest top tier players over here, updating us on their progress and the scalability they expect in 2026, and how the production lines are starting to ramp up. And we are excited from that because our solutions are embedded over there, and that will be part of the immediate growth of Mobilicom. But in addition, the secure autonomy and the cybersecurity with the OS3 are a game changer in this revolution. And we are bringing this new offering and ecosystem, and I think foundation to the industry. So I'm really super excited. I mean, if you didn't catch that from my energy, I'm super excited from what's happening.
Yeah, I can tell. I want to make it real clear. The book that you're holding in your hand, this is a book that you wrote or your company has written for the industry. You're not charging them for it. You're giving it to them, right?
We understood that if you are making big revolutions and you would like to help the industry and help America grow this amazing autonomy capability with amazing drones and robots and loitering that will be self-sustained and automated and safe and secure, someone has to bring this knowledge of how you are making those secured autonomy platforms. And we are handing over this information to the industry. We are giving education to the industry. We are bringing the concept that are then also injected into the standards. We are teaching them what is going on, what are the requirements, how to do it, how to implement it, what are the building blocks that are required, and tell them, okay, regardless of Mobilicom, this is how it should be made. This is the cookbook for the future. Please read, educate yourself, and enjoy that. So this is part of the journey, because part of our responsibility helping the industry scale is bringing and sharing this information and knowledge.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more, and I think it's I'm so happy to see it that it's happening because in my head this was something that I identified a while back, that it's a very fragmented industry, and there is going to be a need for these companies to work together, right?
Yes.
And it's happening, and I'm super excited about it because we've got some really smart people that are joining forces, and I just think that's such a powerful thing for the future of the industry, right? I mean, I just think it's I couldn't be happier. So, and I love the fact that Mobilicom is right in there with the rest of them. So that, I mean, this is just a it's a I can't wait to see where this thing goes, where this whole industry, how it develops and where it goes. But I think it's going to be a really interesting, fun ride.
Definitely, definitely is. And as we mentioned, some of the companies and the people that are interviewed, the big CEOs that are interviewed in your channel very often. So I can share that, we will be very happy to help them as we discuss and communicate with them, and we're going to do it to make their solution safe, because eventually it's making us, America, safe and the world
Right.
safe. So we need the cybersecurity. Otherwise, our adversary will take advantage of that, and that could be done very easily today, and then progress the same capabilities to the commercial market. You cannot have Walmart or Amazon or ExxonMobil drones that are doing from delivery to inspection or utility or critical infrastructure, doing that in an unsafe manner. That one way information can leak, but on the other way, critical critical aspects of security could be breached and harm the population. So I believe that we are doing it to help the industry and help America, and I'm really eager to give it and educate and share it with the world.
No, I love it. I mean, you're going from the top down and the bottom up, right? You're covering both sides.
Yes, part of the process that we're doing is working with the regulators, with the standards, with the industry, the policymakers. We are working with the government, the DoD officials, educating them about that, and this book and other information and the movies that we are making are going to get to all of them, helping them understand what has to be done and what we believe as industry experts have to be done in order to make Americans' drones safe and secure. On the other hand, we would like to help the OEMs, the manufacturers, be able to equip themselves. And that's why we're taking most of the burden of the integration and make it available on the NVIDIA and Qualcomm ecosystem and bringing it over there to them with no investment on their side. And we are happy that we are able to do it. We demonstrated several times, and we'll see that again and again with more companies. So yeah, we are welcoming others to join us and be part of this, and bringing the secure autonomy that we released as a framework to a wider success and to benefit all of them together.
Yep, absolutely. So at the show, did you have a specific goal in mind for this show? Something that you wanted to get accomplished?
So first and foremost was introduction of the secured autonomy solutions and framework. We had a lot of discussions with the shiniest names that you are familiar, and some others that you are not in the industry. We had good traction. I believe that we're going to do more, and I cannot say that. I don't want to say much, but I think that new deals and new activities will be signed immediately after that in the coming months. So we are really, really pleased. On the other hand, we came to promote and continue the progress with our current customers and new customers that are choosing Mobilicom, data link, or mesh networking or other solutions to their platforms as part of programs of record that are being deployed right now and other solutions. So this is part of the excitement. We didn't abandon this business. This is successful and ramping up, but we are bringing new things. So that's part of what we've done on the show. And like always, chasing for the next opportunity, the next big company that we can help with and be part of and be designed into. So that's, again, we have a bigger team over here on the Mobilicom side with great people that came from this industry or from the service of United States, and we are proud of that are helping us reshape this industry and bring more Mobilicom solution into additional customers. So we have bigger crew, bigger activities, more players, more things that we are doing on different fronts. And that's why I'm excited.
Actually, last couple of times I spoke with you, yeah, I mean it's just a whole different. It's a whole different Oren from the very first time that I spoke with you, right? I mean, the very first
Thank you.
time
Thank you.
it was well, the stock was at a much lower price, and you were executing, but I don't think people were recognizing what Mobilicom was, and then all of a sudden things start to kick in. I can tell you're having fun. Are you having fun, Oren?
I'm enjoying it, especially as we are managed to collect more of the CEOs, bright people that are bringing the great companies that we see on the Nasdaq working together. So,
Yes.
and then I see that some of these things that we're bringing are starting to make sense to them and says, yeah, we have to cover that. Or what have we done of that? Or what is my responsibility to eliminate risk for my company and to help the industry? So I see the clicks starting to happen more and more and more. And it's a ripple effect that will be swift and just give us, several quarters and you will see this amazing thing. But I also think that it's exciting time. Look on the floor. The floor is full of people. There is a lot of activity being done over here. A lot of army people that are still came, although there is, the shutdown in government, but a lot of them still chose to come and help the industry. And it's exciting time for this industry.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Uh, if there was one thing that you would want the investors or potential investors that you would want them to know, what would that one thing be?
I think that it's harder for the smaller companies like Mobilicom, although we grow over the last month, but the last few months. But I think that it's harder for them to get enough attention. But I think that we are doing it, and I would like them just to follow, see the execution. The execution will tell the story, and they will enjoy the ride with Mobilicom. If they are not over there, they will enjoy to see great company doing amazing stuff in the front of technology. Second thing is look on some of the things we are aware of what the retail investors want, and we are discussing with them up to the institutionals. But we are solving actually some of the issues that were raised to us. People discuss about the ADS and being foreign issuer and other stuff that are being solved as we speak. So wait and see some of those announcements that will help us get into more volume and more traction to investors and solve some of their issues that they had. And that's amazing as well because that's progressing. You will be, I think, very satisfied seeing the next report showing, different progress of the company and delivery, but also the cash situation and other fulfillment of foreign. So many things are happening behind the scenes simultaneously for Mobilicom. And I think that there is new surprises that will come, but let's leave some great stories for a month or two from now for the next interview.
All right, there is
Yeah.
one thing I do want to highlight though. I want to talk about the fact that, and maybe you could. I'm probably not going to be as detailed on it as you can be, but when you go through anything with the Pentagon or the Department of Defense, you typically have your hardware and your software goes through a pretty intensive, what would you call it? Just a security check, right? I guess.
I mean, when they are taking that, and I'm glad that they are doing it because it's the safety and security of the U.S. is that they validate and check the entire company, employees, ownership, and so on. They want to make sure that that entity is safe. Then they are moving into the products. They actually dismantle things to the tiniest piece and parts and examine it like it was a surgery of the electronics inside because they did find companies that had something that's coming from, let's say, foreign entities that we don't want them to be there, that is collecting information or sending information. So it's important to be done. They've done software testing with to the deepest things. They've done cyber testing for our solution. I mentioned that, and I'm very proud that the U.S. DoD testers and that spent 6 months checking and validating Mobilicom solution came to took my hand and said, "Hey, you made a lot of white hat hackers upset that they couldn't penetrate that." So for me, it's my proud of my people and the great work that they are doing, and that is embedded within the U.S. drones that make them safe and secure and being performing well. So yeah, that is the part of the thing that in order to become part of the ecosystem of the U.S. government, you have to go through that. It's not a secret that our solution are embedded on the blue chip companies that are the biggest of the biggest that are going to revolutionize this industry. We are helping them to make their elements safe, and it's an ongoing effort because anytime you have to find new things and get better and better. And every element that we are getting already feedback, we are correcting or improving that with the government feedback. So we are doing it all the time with some of them because they are preparing for production scalability. And from the moment it will got into the production lines in high volume, nothing could be stopped. We don't want to find problems over there. So
Right.
all of that is done in parallel, but we got great feedback. So I'm
I mean,
happy. I'm happy.
the thing that I want to really, because there aren't many companies that go through the process and have zero issues. Matter of fact, I don't know if there was ever a company before you
I
guys.
mean, the report that we got was for me surprising because if the government is funding testers and validators and companies that are doing scrutiny testing of everything that you have, those companies are paid to find something. So coming back and says we didn't find something is for them a hard thing to admit, But
Right.
I mean, and the bottom line was that they said, "Hey, you understand what you're doing with the security team,
Right.
okay?" And it's a rare thing, as they said, because most of those companies that you see here are coming from the aerospace and capability to make things fly or drive or so on. And cyber or protection or security is not their things. This is
Right.
our expertise. So if you bring it on our data links or our electronic warfare or into the AI machines, we are glad that we are able to make them safe.
Right. And I think that's the real piece that I wanted to drive home, right? This is, and that's why I say this is the beginning. We're just getting
Yeah,
started.
yeah. I mean, everybody see right now the Teslas that are running, autonomously, or if you are living in California or Texas, like I do, you can see some of those autonomous car services, Waymo and others.
Yep.
And God forbid, and think about that as drones or robots being deployed in the battlefield, and someone can get in, control them, and do whatever. Did you think about driving your Waymo car that you are locked inside the car, everything is locked, and someone is out taking you whenever he wants, and you're unable to get out? Think about that.
Yeah.
So it's some incident like so. Have the same thing with a drone that have a payload of a bomb behind you, beneath it. Now, someone else is controlling that. How scary that would be.
That would be scary. Right.
So we understand that this revolution is amazing, but we first and foremost have to make it safe and secure.
Absolutely. All right, Oren. Is there? I know you're busy. I know you got a full day ahead of you. Anything else that you feel like I missed?
No, there is additional things, but I think that you will see that in the coming weeks.
Okay.
And some things are related to the capital of the company, the cash position, the warrants fulfillment, other things that are great things are happening behind the scene that will enable us to move faster and better and execute better for the company. So stay tuned and please come to visit us with Tim again. I hope in a month or two, if Tim has the time for us, and we will do it and we'll update you again.
Absolutely, man. You anytime you want to do it, you just give me a call and we'll make it happen.
You are my best channel to get to retail investors, tell them that they are important, we believe in them, and thank them that they are believing in us because they did the first leap of faith, and we would like to make them happy and richer from choosing Mobilicom. So
Well, we
and
want
contributing to the industry because we are making good things here.
yeah, no, look, we want you to execute and make our drones and our robotics safer, right? And because that's going to be good for the industry, that's going to be good for America, and ultimately it should be good for the people that are invested in the company as well,
Definitely.
right?
So thank you again.
Uh,
Thank you, Tim.
all right, Oren, hold on a second. I'm going to shut this off, okay? Thank you for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Capital. Today we had Oren Elkayam from Mobilicom. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All of those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Capital. We appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Capital wishes you the very best of success.